Decision analysis. Today we'll be talking about decision making without probabilities. To do that, we'll be using 5 different criteria. Criteria to make decision when you are absolutely optimistic is called maximax, which means best of the best. Criteria maximum is the one when you are pessimistic, and which is the best of the worst payoffs. Minimax regret is the minimum of the maximum regrets for each alternative. Hurwitz, you have to have a coefficient of optimism, and decision payoffs are weighted by a coefficient of optimism alpha. And equal likelihood, or Laplace, is when each state of nature is weighted equally. Let's see how it works on one sample. There is a company in the States that is contemplating the future of one of its plants. They have 3 options. One is to expand the plant, second one is to keep the status quo, and third one is to sell the plant now. Possible states of nature could be positive or negative based on the Congress. If Congress includes trade embargo, that will be good foreign competitive conditions for this company. If it doesn't include embargo on the foreign competition, that will be poor conditions. Let's go to OneNote, and the first step in solving these problems is creating a payoff table. We have 3 decisions: expand, maintain status quo, sell now, and we have 2 different states of nature: optimistic, and pessimistic, which means in the first one, Congress included trade embargo on the foreign competition, and the other one, it didn't. Now we're going to evaluate our options through these 5 different criteria. The first one is called, as we said, maximax. And it is the best of the best, which means you are very optimistic. In this particular case, it would be 1.3 million, which is maintain status quo. 1.3 million status quo. Oh. The next one is maximum, where you are pessimistic, and which will be best of the worst. This is our worst option, and the best is 500,000, and that is expand. Number 3 concept is minimax regret. Here, how it works, we choose the best solution for the first column, which is 1.3 million minimax regret rate. The best is 1.3 million, and we will deduct each of these, right? On the first one is 800,000, which is equal 500,000. And then again, 1.3 million minus 1.3 million, which is 0. And 1.3 million minus 320,000, which is equal 980,000. And now we're going to look in the second column, where is poor competitive conditions. Again, we're going to choose the best of these three, which is 500,000. And the first one is 500,000 minus 500,000 which is equal 0. The second one, status quo, is 500,000 minus 150,000, which is equal 650,000. And the third one is 500,000 minus 320,000, which is equal 180,000. Now, the best of these three for the expand will be this one, 500,000. For status quo, that would be this one. And for the sell now or later, that would be this one, right? In minimax regret, you're gonna choose the lowest number of these three, which will be this one, and that would be expand. You're gonna choose this one, and the answer for minimax regret is expand. Number 4 is Hurwitz. All right, and it deals with the coefficient of the optimism, and we know it's given in this problem, coefficient of optimism is 0.3, which means pessimism is 1 minus 0.3, which is 0.7. And the first case, for expand, we are going to have, 800,000 times 0.3 plus 500,000 times coefficient of pessimism, which is 0.7. And the answer is 590,000. Next one is status quo, where we have 1.3 million times 0.3 times alpha plus negative 150,000 times 0.7. That would be 285,000. And the third option is sell now, where we have 320,000 times 0.3 plus 320,000 times 0.7. That would be 320,000. The best of these three is this one, and that would be expand based on the Hurwitz. And the last one is equal likelihood, or Laplace, where we have equal weighting for each of our options. For expand, we have equal weighting, which in this case, we have only two states of nature. Obviously, each will be 0.5. 800,000 times 0.5 plus 500,000 times 0.5, and that is 650,000. Then the next one is status quo, and for that one we have 1.3 million times 0.5 plus negative, right, minus 150,000 times 0.5, and that is going to be 575,000. And sell option, we have 320,000 times 0.5 plus 320,000 times 0.5, which is 320,000. The best of these three per Laplace is 650, which is expand. If we look at these 5 criteria for this particular problem, we have 1 expand, 2 expand, 3 expand, 4 expand, and 1 status quo. Recommendation is expand.